Afternoon to you all. On the dais, we have Minister from South Korea, Sri Kim Hyun. We have Justice BP Singh, who has been with us since morning and has been associated with this institute in a big way. We have Namasivaya from Pondicherry, Minister there of Education. All the deans, faculty members, our graduating students who have got their postgraduate diploma in management today in this Silver Jubilee Convocation, 25th Convocation. And just about not even half an hour ago, we heard an eloquent convocation address, but by none other than the Honorable Vice President of India, Sri Jagdeep Dhankarji. And it was so inspiring and motivating. We have V.M. Bansalji, who is busy with some activity or the other, probably because he had to take care of several activities, who has been chairman of this organization, started from his parents, but continuing the legacy. His children are also continuing the legacy. So with such a eloquent institution of 25 years of standing, lots of good things have happened in the institute, and also as Honorable Vice President mentioned, India is in its Amrit Kal, the next 25 years, which is going to be celebration of our centenary, having completed 75 years only last year. Indian independence has been rooted very strongly in our democratic values. But these are not from just about 75 years. But as pointed out, India has a very rich heritage. And in fact, the mother of democracy started somewhere in Tamil Nadu long ago, thousands of years ago. And whether it is in terms of even if there was a monarchic system, right from King Rama to anyone in this country, they always followed the democratic principles, heard the voice of the citizens. And sometimes in order to understand what is happening, they used to change the dress and get into the town in the night and then find out what is the opinion about the kingdom, the way the governance is happening. Today we all talk about good governance model. So the excellent governance model emerged here, and that's why our democracy is highly rooted in our values on one side and also modernity on the other side. Why modernity? Today, right from beginning in the welcome address, Sri Bansalji also mentioned about thinking about being on the moon. We are all talking about the moon landing which happened just 2 days ago. But what a marvelous achievement that going to the South Pole, none other country in the world was able to manage it. It is difficult for a variety of reasons. We also could not succeed 100% last time. The problem is on the equator of the moon, it is much easier to go and land. But in the southern pole, there is a lot of mud, that earth will come out of that, moon will come out of that, not earth, we cannot say earth there. And therefore, visibility is poor. Secondly, we also have the terrain which is totally undulating. Therefore, we do not know whether we are going to stop ourselves into the flat land or we will be getting into some ditch. And therefore, it was a challenge and which we addressed very successfully, thanks to the scientists of ISRO. And if you remember, if you look at the students from different institutions in the country who are associated with this project, they come from as far as in the northeast in Arunachal Pradesh, where I taught in 1986 to 95. There were 4 students of that era who are part of some of the systems in that particular project. So it is from the mainstream, from Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, you name any state of the country, there is some representative or the other into the moon landing mission, that is Chandrayaan-3. That means it is truly a, entirely pro-national mission and pan-national mission. That's how everyone was associated with that. And that hard work of all scientists for the last 4 years, all the mistakes that had happened in the last Chandrayaan-2 were corrected, and a spotless clean mission. There was no flaw at all. It landed so smoothly. The whole world was watching. That is what we achieved. And therefore, like Honorable Vice President mentioned, I think this is a real Amrut Kal for all of us, young generation. You have to take this, baton forward, whether it is in terms of management, in terms of science, in terms of technology. India is an emerging country. Vice President also told about 46% of our economy is digital economy. The world's economy, digital economy, is run by India. But I would like to mention 3-4 very interesting and important projects that the Ministry of Education has undertaken post National Education Policy 2020, which was announced 3 years ago, which celebrated its third year or third anniversary about a week ago. So we are talking about several digital initiatives which are going to make life of all the students very, very easy for studies and many other things. Number one, many a times we talk about employability of our graduates is poor because they don't get first-hand exposure to practical aspects. They know theoretical knowledge, but practical aspects are not known. And that's why we all started with what is known as mandatory internship program. But many institutions in the tier 2, tier 3 towns and cities have difficulty in approaching the industry. I am knowing about NDIM, which has a very rich advantage of the experience of Sri V.M. Bansal on one side and the location of Delhi on the other side. Both added together. No. You are the great man. Actually, you have so many contacts that you are able to attract the best possible industry to this. Multinationals to national companies, and all the students are benefited. But probably the same benefit is not accrued to those students who are in some remote Jharkhand or in some remote Nagaland. And therefore, AICT, in my earlier era, we started an internship portal. And I'm very proud and happy to announce that as many as 1.6 crore students have registered on the platform. And in the last 3 years, we have been able to give internships to 29 lakh plus students. But still we have not achieved our goal. The people who are interested in getting internships are 1.6 crore and we have been able to give only about 30 lakh. So it is in the ratio of about 1:5, 1:6. So I appeal in every scheme of things, wherever it is possible, that industry should come forward and give more opportunities. There is no point in cribbing that our students are not employable unless you provide them that training when they are still students. NDIM is an institution which has been able to successfully do it, and that's why I can see excellent pay packages and excellent companies who have got this opportunity here, and then you get those jobs. But I want that every citizen of the country, wherever they are, they should get that opportunity. We also created a platform called National Educational Alliance for Technologies, and all these technologies which are emerging in nature, whether it is AI, ML, whether it is artificial intelligence version, which is a newer version, which is called ChatGPT, or augmented reality, virtual reality, extended reality, metaverse, all of these are not only important for technical education, but they are as much important to management education or even science education. And how do we get all of this content part of the curriculum and engage our students? That's why this platform of startups who give such education for our young children is provided. This was already going on. But what important initiatives happened in the last 2 years is again exciting. We find an institute like NDIM probably has less problems, but many institutions in the country which are affiliated to a university, they have to give their data to multiple agencies in the same year. Every year for getting approval, even NDIM gives data to two organizations every year. One of them is All India Survey for Higher Education by the Ministry of Education and AICTE for getting approval. And when the accreditation is over, once in a cycle of whatever 3 years or 6 years, have to also give data to National Board of Accreditation. But many other colleges, they have to give to the university, they have to give to NAAC, they have to give to some other agencies from the state government. And most of this data, when we observed, was 85%, 90% common data. Same data is asked by agencies in a different format, and therefore different people are asked to fill in that data, and many times there is a data inconsistency which happens, and there is a suspicion in the minds of the organizations that whether this data is correct or not. Therefore, we have created a portal now called as One Nation, One Data, and each institution will be required hereafter from next year to give the data only once in a year onto this platform, and whoever requires that data, they will draw it from out of that. The institution need not give it multiple times, but whoever wants it, they can draw from out of that using APIs. And this is the new development that is taking place. I'm sure NDIM also must be attracting some foreign students. And there are many institutions in India, at least about 300, 400 institutions who get foreign students annually. For a foreign student to know about which Indian institution to apply, which is a good institution in which domain, that information is lacking. And that's why they look at some website here and there, randomly they choose an institution, come here, and sometimes they get disheartened because some of the facilities that they expected were not there. And so what we have done is we have again created another very interesting platform released recently from the Parliament House by two of the ministers, Minister of Education and Minister of External Affairs. Both of them were there. And this portal is called Study in India portal. And all institutions interested in taking foreign students have to register on this, giving all information about their institutions on one side. And all foreign students who are interested in getting into India have to also register on this platform. Once they register and they are authenticated through their passport and all that data, whatever is their choice or interest will get visibility from that platform. For example, you put in keyword, I want to study financial management. Then naturally all some 30, 40 institutions in India who give management degrees in financial management will pop up, and the student will know which are those institutions. Then the student can see all of those 30 from their website and decide which of these institutions that student wants to apply. It is not necessary to apply separately for all the institutions. Please remember, from India, whenever students apply abroad to US universities or anywhere, each university you are required to apply separately through an application form. There is a fee associated, and then you have to send the entire your transcripts, and only then you will start getting admits from different universities. What we have done is the student chooses, clicks the names of the colleges or universities where the choice is given by the student. Automatically the single application gets distributed to all those 7, 8, 10 institutions, and the institutions have the right to decide based on their criteria of selection whether they want to select that candidate or not. And maybe out of those 10 institutions, 5 institutions decided to give admissions to admit to that student. On the dashboard of the student, 5 institution names crop up that these 5 institutions have given you the admission, the other 5 have not given, you will know that. And then you choose out of that 5 which one you want to take it. And when you click that name of the institution, automatically this information goes to the embassy in that country where the student belongs. And the processing of visa also becomes simple. Student's visa will get automatically from out of that. And when the student actually comes and joins, there is a regulation in India from security reasons, both for the security of the country and the security of the candidate, that there is a FRRO registration. Foreign student registration is mandatory. So a compliance officer in the institute comes to know a student has joined without going to the police station to record the presence. Through the institution itself and the compliance officer, the information about the student goes to FRRO officer. Thereby all the processes are completed, and then the journey of the student in the campus, whether it is getting hostel or the proper accommodation wherever it is, or the kind of mess or food that he wants or she wants to take, to the entire education is streamlined through the process of this. And therefore it is like a one-stop solution We often talk about ease of doing business in business. This is the ease of doing business in education sector. So this is what is done for both getting information from the institutions on one side and the students on the other side. We are all aware of the Academic Bank of Credits, which was started long ago. I hope NDIM is also a member of that. Any student, once he becomes a student, that means at the age of 3, we want a registry of the students to be maintained, a unique ID of each student, which will be a lifelong ID, and everything that a student does in any educational institution or outside the educational institution, all the credits earned, the certifications earned will get deposited in this ABC, Academic Bank of Credits. It is like our bank account where we deposit money and through ATM we withdraw the money. So the credits earned by the students will be deposited, and if they change the university, go to other place, these credits can be encashed to get an award of a certificate or a diploma or a degree, as the case may be. So I think the entire education sector is in a transformational and reformist stage. Many things are happening. I just mentioned about 4 or 5 initiatives, otherwise time is short. So I think you make use of all these facilities. Not only you, very soon you will get into job, get married, your children. I think India has a very, very bright future. Next 25 years are going to be India's 25 years. Thank you.